All right. So this is our maiden voyage. And
We're on it.
yeah, we're gonna start with introducing ourselves. My name's Peter Stoltzman, and I am a teacher and a jazz pianist and a, a workbook writer and a nonprofit uh, founder. And I'm just super excited to be here with my friend, my colleague, um, Solomon Chapman. So, Solomon, introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Solomon Jawan Chapman, Senior.
Hey, what? Wait, wait,
Uh,
wait. How do you spell Jawan?
Juwan.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm Peter John Stoltzman.
we got the same middle name. Something about
Yeah,
that
we could.
J. And see, I'd like to be pretentious when I write compositions and stuff. I want the J in the name, not just Solomon Chapman. Put the
Nice.
J,
Oh
put
yeah,
the senior. Let
The-
folks know I'm a dad too. So
yeah, baby. Yeah, nice. You know,
yeah.
you know how I do it, Peter John. So my stuff.
I play piano. I compose. What else? I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a budding comedic writer and also a curator of tongue twisters. You didn't know this,
I
but
didn't.
now you do. I have journals full of just like material, but I do not plan
Wow.
to do stand up. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't have the nerves for it. And I
All
can't deal
right.
with hecklers, but I have great ideas.
Nice.
But I play piano. That's what I'm here for.
That's awesome. We gotta get into some of that.
Yo,
All right. So
buckle
we've
in.
been talking about this for some time now, and we did a little kind of dry run, which who knows, maybe we could share some of that because there was some fun stuff that happened in that.
Oh, absolutely. That was great.
Um, but uh, but we wanted to kind of come together and explore both jazz and gospel and the intersections of jazz and gospel.
Yes.
Um, and I think, for me, and I think we've talked about this as well in a lot of our conversations as, as peers and as teacher students sometimes have been, extended into kind of life and spirituality, even, into like the political realm and just kind of this the whole concept of like gospel meets jazz is way bigger than music for me. It's
Yeah.
about it's about communities, in our sense, musical communities,
Yeah.
right? But also social, cultural, racial communities that have become siloed off from each other,
Yeah.
not necessarily out of any kind of animosity,
Right.
uh, but this is not like left and right.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
just people who have, for numerous and complicated, reasons, kind of wound up in fairly siloed communities, and then you see these bridges, right, where and these intersections um, in musical projects and uh, different artists really doing it more or less intentionally,
Yeah.
bridging these musical gaps and the racial and cultural gaps. um, but still, I see these worlds as like way more siloed than they should be. Like, it would be
I
so
like that.
cool to bring our communities together more. And there's a lot of complex kind of historical lineage here with the progression of jazz in America and
Yeah.
how it's become more and more and more and more white.
Mm.
Um, and in terms of the people who are studying it, the people who are,
Right. Teaching it.
teaching it, and
Yeah.
then inevitably the people who are trying to, make careers out of it.
Right.
Um, and that's not, you know obviously, like many of, probably the majority of the greatest players out there um, are still Black Americans,
Mm.
uh, but um, there's an issue there, and that's really that's deep and complicated, and
Right.
and I don't know that there's like a solution we're trying to figure out,
Right.
except for just doing this, like
Yes.
bridging these worlds musically and personally, and exploring what comes up, and especially like through engaging with the music and with
Yes.
each other on this level. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
definitely think of this as like the colliding of cultures. Um, and just kind of comparing, contrasting, and just sharing um what makes these cultures unique, but then what also brings these cultures together. Um, and that's something that I've had to open myself up to, the fact that any style of music has like a community and culture attached to it. It's not just about the notes and the rhythms and the harmonies and stuff. There's
Mm,
like something deeper that we ought to investigate and
mm,
be a part of. And so I'm just excited that just through our conversations, we'll get a chance to get a glimpse of that. And I just want to start off, I don't represent, the entire gospel community, and you
of
don't
course,
represent the entire jazz community. We're
of
just,
course.
folks who have engaged these communities, have created full realities with these communities, but also have interesting relationships with the other side. I play jazz and you play a great deal of gospel. At least that's how I hear it, man.
Hmm.
You've got, excuse me, you've got so much of that sound within you. And when I hear you play, it sounds like you've um, respected the music enough to like investigate a little bit. And yeah, so I think that that's what makes us unique. We're not ignorant to the other side, but we're hoping to get even more perspective by talking to each other.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blessing to do this with you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, the blessing and the honor is mine. So thank you.
When two or more are gathered, right?
Yeah, amen.
There we
He'll
go.
be in the midst. We're in the book now. That's what my pastor says. That's
We're in
book
the
right
book. I love it. Um, okay, so we decided we would present songs that inspire a feeling of hope,
there. Yeah.
as a way to start this new year, and hopefully kind of a new larger trajectory in society and in our country,
Yeah.
and that's more hopeful and less divisive kind of feeling. And so just in that spirit, we wanted to dive into some music. And my intention with this musical dive, it doesn't have to be this way every time, right? But is that we will listen to excerpts, maybe even listen to whole tracks, but and then like get into maybe some actual in real time transcribing of
Yeah.
of things that were like, oh, that's the thing right there. What is that? and
Yeah.
and so that that could be fun, I think, for people to watch.
Absolutely.
And even like kind of do along with us if they're pianists or musicians, uh, and then riff off of whatever comes up from that, because we could, it might inspire us to be like, oh, well, I got a song that I wrote that's like this, or it reminds me of this other artist, or this is how I would practice that, um, etc. This is how I would put this, incorporate this into my own style,
I love it. Okay. All the above.
and
Let's do that.
yeah, and more.
And more. So do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Why don't you go first, man?
Okay. All right. The track that gives me a feeling of hope is called He Never Fails. And it's by this gospel artist, Arthur Clayton the Fourth. I don't know any of his other songs. I know he's like a big deal in another part of the country, but I don't know too much about him. I just met his brother like a couple months ago, and he's like, "Yeah, my brother's got this song. You should check it out." And it is like amazing. So I'm not even on that research level of like, who are the musicians playing on it? What's the producer? Like none of that. I'm just like, I'm banging this song like almost every day.
Nice.
And so I just wanted to play maybe the intro, the first verse, the hook or whatever. Probably like a minute and a half of it. But I think there's a lot of information in this minute and a half.
Great.
So
And we'll go ahead and put like links to to download these tracks, to
yes,
where you can buy it, where you can support the artists.
please buy this track. It's just a single. This guy, as far as I know, doesn't have an album out. We can verify later, but support this guy. He's writing great music, and the production is banging. So without further ado, he never fails.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us God won't fail, nor forsake thee. Come on. Hey, I'll serve a God,
Woo!
and he's able. This time, say it like you believe it. I serve a God,
Woo!
and he's able. I serve a God, and he is. The Bible tells us he healed the sick, yeah.
Woo!
And he raised the dead. Thousand souls. Hey, my God fed. My God fed. My God. Whoa. Come on, I think you got it by now. I'm gonna say it right here.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah. Woo!
it just makes you want to move. You just serve a God
Yeah.
who is a. Now, the reason why I picked
Mm.
this song is, I'm a Christian, and so I definitely have placed a lot of my hope and faith in this life in Christ. And sometimes I go through these seasons where I just feel super overwhelmed, but it kind of helps to know that like I'm not alone, and the God I believe in, he's never failed me. And that doesn't mean that things in my life were never confusing, never frustrated me, never disappointed me, or made me question like why, like what is going on here. But even in the midst of all of 2020, like as a full-time musician, like I was playing at like multiple churches and stuff, and when March hit, like all of a sudden I lost like 75% of my income. And so I was like in this mindset of like, all right, I got to figure this out. I got to work. I got to go back to King Supers and like work, like doing that thing. I just got to figure it out. I got to work a night shift at some store. So I got to do whatever I have to do to make sure my family's needs are met, because my wife's in school and I'm the only breadwinner, right?
Mm.
Up until the end of this year. Can't wait. She's about to be a surgical assistant. So we're about to make the big bucks. But all that to say, it was a really stressful time.
Yeah.
And it was one of these things where like every month I was able to pay rent. Every month, like we never missed a meal. Every month, like other bills were getting paid, and gigs and opportunities would come up, live stream opportunities. I got more students than ever. Like all these things started popping up, and I wouldn't say it wasn't because of any effort on my part, but there were just some like circumstances that's like I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I kind of saw everything that transpired in 2020 as just like a testament to the fact that like even though a lot of crap is going down in life, I can trust that he's never failing me. And so I happen to find this song, and it sort of has become like my chant, just waking up, and it feels good. So even if I'm not singing it, this vibe is just like crazy, and the harmonies are nice. The passing chords, the hump, everything is there. And so I figured it'd be cool to kind of investigate like at least the intro.
Yeah,
At
yeah. The
least
intro is the intro is bad. So what do you like? I'm curious, what is it that that resonates as hopeful
Oh, I like
in this,
that.
besides the message, like the musical part? What is it that that creates that feeling, right? Because it definitely
Musically,
does,
not
right?
not in the lyrics.
Yeah, yeah. And I can tell you,
Man,
for me, like
yeah,
first off,
yeah.
like four chord, man.
The four chord?
The four chord is a
The
hope,
four
is
chord.
hope, dude.
Yes.
It's we are the world to the four.
Wow, that's right.
It's imagine there's no people. Oh no, for today. You may say I'm a dream.
Yeah.
Four chord, man. It's in. I mean, you could go on and on and on. Purple
Wow.
rain,
Yes.
purple rain, purple four chord. Right?
Can
That's
we
the
just
hope.
like take a snippet of you pointing into the camera? Purple four chord. That's the intro. That's the intro. You're right. You knew what you were doing. Um, yeah, I did not think of the harmony um so much as I just thought of, if I'm honest, I don't think I can separate this song from the lyrics at this point
Sure.
if it comes to hope,
Mm.
But in addition to the feeling of hope I get from this, there's like a sense of like stank face confidence that I get.
Yeah.
And when you have hope in something, there's a sense of confidence in
Mhm.
it as well.
Mhm.
I hope
Mhm.
in the future. I hope in what's coming. I have
Mhm.
confidence that things will be better in the upcoming days. And so, um, in that regard, yeah, this music gives me that stank face confidence.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, yeah.
There's a Kim Burrell track
Oof.
from way back, like '99 or something, live.
Yeah.
Um, that's so bad, and it gives me this feeling like tears and just like, and but it's so intense, and you're just like hands up kind of vibe.
Man.
I listened to it so many times back in my 20s. Uh,
Oh, did you?
yeah, I'm forgetting actually what the track is called. I
Yeah.
have to look it up. But
See, I'm
yeah,
more
man.
familiar with the Kim Burrell record before that one. It's called Everlasting Light. It's like a seminal record. But this
Mhm.
church I go to, like the pastor and his wife and his kids, they all love Kim Burrell and they know this live album. I think like the back of their hands. And
Uh-huh.
they're like, "You don't know the live album? You don't know the."
That's
It's like
probably
this
it.
whole
Is it
thing.
Memphis?
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
don't.
yeah,
Nah.
because she comes out, she's like Memphis, Tennessee. I think if I'm remembering
Mm.
right, and yeah, and it's like beedly-doo-doo, and yeah. Anyway, it's just it's
Yeah.
nuts.
So Kim Burrell plays piano, right?
I no, I didn't know that. I'm
She
not
plays
surprised.
piano, she plays organ, and of course she grew up, singing in church and singing gospel, but one of her influences was Ella Fitzgerald. So she, like, as you hear in on that record, I'm sure there's like this acrobatic just vocal agility, just like
Oh
ooh,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so like folks like Jasmine Sullivan have just like taken over that sound. And even
Mm,
other like pop folks who you
mm,
would never think, oh, Kim Burrell's an influence for them.
mm.
She
Like
really was
Christina.
like a beacon of light to
Yeah,
to a lot of folks. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
man.
I'm gonna check out that live record.
Yeah, man. Check that out, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay, so let's can we yeah, let's do the intro.
Yeah.
I was gonna say also that like that spot where it shifts, right? Where it goes
Yeah.
to non-diatonic land a little bit.
Yes.
That is Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us God won't fail, nor forsake thee. Come on.
So how do you want to do this? Like, should I explain my process for transcribing it, or do you want to? Should
Yeah,
we mute it for? How do we want to do this?
let's do it together.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you so yeah, what is your first what's your process when you're trying to figure something like that out?
Um. So I think of this sort of like spectrum, right? So I'm gonna start with the top line, do 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 do, whatever
Okay.
that is.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna figure out the bass notes.
Yep.
and then I'm gonna sort of figure out, okay, what's the feeling of each harmony I'm hearing that connect this top note with the bass note. Is
Like
is
the
that pretty
feeling,
much
the
what you?
color of it. Yeah, man. That's it.
Amen.
Top line, bottom line, and then fill it in.
Fill it in.
Yep.
Deuteronomy 31:6 tells us, not won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
So another aspect for me also just that goes along with that, that's really important for my brain when I'm transcribing, is if I can, key.
The key.
Key, like right away, right?
sure.
So I know it's there, right?
Yeah.
And that's A, right? And let's go on from there. Let's get that melody.
Deuteronomy 31:6 tells us,
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 31:6 tells us, not won't fail, not forsake thee.
Yeah, it's that climb. What is that climb?
It's like the major scale without the 4.
Okay.
On a little tangent right there, major scale without the 4 is like one of my favorite things to play.
Me too.
Yeah,
Like
baby.
kind of pentatonic-y with that major 7.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Won't fail. Deuteronomy 31:6 tells us, not won't fail, not forsake thee. Come
Just like that. So then I'm thinking.
Yeah. So it's like 4 and a 1 end, 4 and 1 end, right?
31:6 tells us, not won't fail, not forsake thee. Come
Yeah. So you feeling good about that top line? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can't play together.
No.
The latency.
I'm trying to snap it.
That's all right.
Ah, it's that.
Yeah. That's right. We don't, we don't have to like write out exactly the rhythms.
Right, cool. Yeah. That was the gesture. This is a gestural transcription. Okay, here are the bass notes.
Deuteronomy 31:6 tells us, not won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
Woo!
I'm hearing most of it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we didn't get that line. My bad. Is that what you're hearing? I'm hearing like this other top line. There's like, and then like some chords there.
Yeah, something like that, right? I'm really listening to the synth, like the lead synth. Anyway, so let's figure out those chords, because that's where it gets really deep, right? This melody, I mean, rhythmically, there's some herky jerkiness, which is really hip, right? That one right there, it's like a 16 or off, right? Is that it? Or I'm not sure if it's on the E or the
if like the subdivision is swung. Straight. Kind of like a swing on the end one.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Now you got to think that just a side note. Oftentimes when gospel artists make songs, they want to make songs that are like palatable to like the local church,
Mhm.
right? And so it becomes this thing where it's like, how playable and how singable are these songs? For the most part, like even folks who have like okay ears could like play the majority of the song, but then it becomes a matter of like, do we really deal with this intro,
Yeah.
or do we just vocals come on here? You know, it's like, let's simplify this a little bit, because not everybody can even hang on a harmonic or rhythmic level. So side note, you listen to much James Fortune?
No.
Oh, sir, I'm gonna send you some stuff. So James Fortune sort of epitomizes this whole other side where they don't care what the local musicians can do. They're just gonna do whatever they feel like doing because they've studied Herbie and they've studied Chick and they just want to do all this nonsense. And so these intros and even these interludes are crazy. So I'm gonna make sure over the next few weeks James Fortune makes his way into this.
Nice, please.
Okay, so
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us, God won't fail, nor forsake thee. Come on.
Okay. So we got a 2-5-1 to the, what is it? To the, was that to the 6 or to the 4?
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us,
Oh no, it's not. Sorry. Ah, Jesus. Keep.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us,
Oh, there's the 2-5 to the 6 comes later, right?
yeah.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us,
Okay. Shoot.
So-
So we got 4, 6, 2, walking down to the 2, and then, but it's like they do some reharm right there too, right?
Yeah.
After that.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us, God won't fail, nor forsake thee. Come
Oh, they did do the 2-5 fully to the F sharp, but instead of a minor, they play like a sus or something right there. Huh?
Yeah. This open. Yeah.
This is like full sus.
It's like sus 13 though.
It's full. Is there a different chord on that A? Is it like an A major or is it like B minor over A? I gotta listen for that. And then is like sharp 9. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Hold on. I was hearing like a A major 9.
Yeah, okay. That's one thing I want to check if that's. I think you're right.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us,
It's happening quick.
It does. It happens too fast, really.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us, God won't
But then
Oh, and then they're sussing out that one too.
yes.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us, God won't fail, nor forsake thee. Come
Woo. Okay, so right there, I'm like, your brain goes.
Right.
What was that? This is where it really takes like catching the bass note first, right?
Yes.
Because it's not obvious. It's not in some diatonic thing where you can be like, okay, yeah, right, 4, 6, 2, walk it down.
Is
and
that
then
how you hear it?
5
You
to the
hear
6.
diatonically? 4, 6, 2, 1,
do.
7, 3, 6.
Yeah, I mean, I hear like the 2, 5, 1 to the
Okay.
6, right? It's a 2.
Ah, I see.
6.
Okay. That's the thing. Before jazz, everything was just diatonic for me. So even if you go on YouTube and look up like gospel tutorials, they're not saying 2-5-1s to the 6 chord or 2-5-1s to the 2 chord. They're like, learn these 7-3-6 progressions. It's a whole other thing. Yeah. But it's the same
Interesting.
thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 31 and 6 tells us, not won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
I gotta. Can we isolate that? And get.
I think I'm hearing like.
So after this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like B sus2 over D sharp or like D sharp minor.
Ooh. Nice. It's going by too fast for me.
Not forsake thee.
It's like D sharp to C sharp.
Come on. Won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
It is D sharp, isn't it?
I don't know what's happening after D sharp. Maybe the B's not in it.
It's not just a straight sus though, right? Man. Ooh, I'm not sure.
Come on. Won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
So this is where I start picking out individual notes in there,
Okay.
right? Because I think there's this trying to, and then we got to hear if there's that B is really in there or not.
Not forsake.
I think it's like that major 7 sound.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's this one? I'm gonna try to hear that.
Won't fail, not forsake thee.
I think it's a B in the bass, right?
I think it might be
B flat?
I think it's I think it's
Ooh.
like A sharp or B flat.
Ooh. What? Okay. Play it again.
Won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
Like this? One of these guys?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I heard that time. Woo! Okay, let's both put our overheads on and look at how we might voice this out. And then there's another chord right there on that B. Let's get to the last chord.
Okay.
Not won't fail, not forsake thee. Come on.
Is it C sharp minor?
Yeah.
Play that one more time.
Uh-huh.
Not forsake thee. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's a minor third in there, right? Maybe it's got the
I don't
nine.
think there's take the 9 out. I would take the
Take the 9 out. Yeah, it's really heavy on that one.
Yeah.
Is it one of these? Another one of these?
Yeah.
Because there's some thickness in it that I'm not. That's why I was trying to do this, right? Maybe that's it. There's just a lot of those. Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like the pianist is doing like a voicing before we get to that C sharp minor 7. I don't know what I just said.
Not for safety. Come on.
I want to pin your screen actually,
Okay.
and then I can do mine. But when I share mine goes like full screen. Mm. Okay, so let's, for the sake of time, let's
Yeah.
just isolate these chords here at the end that are these really cool chords, and let's talk about one, how we think about them.
Yeah.
What would you write for a chord symbol, and then like what are some variations on the voicing?
Oh, I love that. So these two chords are.
No, these guys. So we got this one, and then right. So
Yeah. Okay.
that like D sharp, A sharp, and C sharp,
Okay.
like, they're all the same type of chords, right?
So I write this
First we got the sus.
right. Okay.
Okay, so
So
we
you
got
just
F sharp 13, sus 4, right?
right.
Okay.
Yeah. This
So
is
when we
when
get to that D sharp chord, what do you call this?
I normally would call this like a B major 9 over D sharp.
B major 9 over D sharp. Cool.
Yeah. But somebody might go, and it doesn't quite do it justice.
It doesn't quite do it justice. That's true. If you just play like a kind of a straight up B major
3,
9.
5, 7, 9.
Right. And then also if you leave out the B, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this correlates to that issue, but for me, oftentimes I write these chords not as slash chords, but as like I would write this as D sharp minor 7 with a flat 6 in parentheses.
Wow.
I guess you could write add flat 6, but
And then it's still up to the person to really come up with some creative voicings.
totally.
Yeah. I
D
like
sharp
that.
minor 7 flat 6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just, for some reason, I'm thinking they need to know this is. Oh, okay. So here's why I'm saying B something over the D sharp.
Yeah.
It's because I feel like it's a derivative of B sus2. You call that a B sus2
Yep, sure.
over D sharp.
Over D sharp. You're right.
I feel like it's a derivative of that, but there's just more
Right.
code happening.
Right. Yeah, you could almost call it B major 9 sus 2 over D sharp. Yeah. But
over D sharp, exactly. Yeah. Or could we call it F sharp add 4
yep.
over D sharp?
Yeah, we could. I feel like that doesn't really get at the functionality of it though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the function of this is like it wants to lead you up a half step, right? It's really like I call these leading tone slash chords.
Yeah.
And it's like the leading tone of E in the bass, and then it's a slash chord with the the 5 of E, so it's
right.
B over D sharp.
Right. Oh. And so then you would do the same for the A sharp.
Yeah, so then that A sharp could be again, right, either this would be your F sharp major 7 major 9 over, yeah. And you could, I guess if you want to be specific, you could say sus 2, right?
Yeah.
F sharp major 9 sus 2 over A sharp. And that way, if somebody's going to be, F sharp major 7 sus2,
Yeah.
that's relatively straightforward, right? Then if somebody just plays a root position version of that chord, yeah, exactly.
Wow. I like that.
It's what you want it to be.
Okay. So taking that same logic.
Mhm.
Okay. We just cracked the code. Cool. And then. And
And
then.
then A major 7 sus2 over C sharp. Yeah.
There you go.
Now, voicings for this, right?
Yeah.
That's a great one right there. It's basically all right hand. I mean, you can do it with all, all right hand, right? Just over the bass note, which is cool. That's nice to be able to do that.
Right.
If you wanted to thicken this up, you were doing some different variations on it. Show me like 1 or 2 things that you would do. So you're adding, you got the whole triad in the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then like basically kind of upper structure triading in the right hand with the F sharp major. Yeah.
A lot of times when you make voicing decisions, you have to think about like your orchestration
Yeah.
within the ensemble, right? So for me, a typical formation would be a 3-piece. Even though this was a produced track, there's like the lead playing the high part, and then the pianist and organist can cover like all the other mid-range voicings. You kind of have to be everything in church for the 3-piece. Drummer's doing his thing, bass is playing the bottom. So you got to cover both melody and the full chord. So a lot of times I'll find ways that I can thicken up the chord just so it feels fat and consummate while yet representing the melody at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And this depends on what instrument you're playing too, right? Because if you're playing organ, you gotta be careful about where you're at when playing these thick voicings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right? Piano can sustain much more thickness in this regard, don't you think?
Well,
I mean, it depends on where your drawbars are at, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're the drawbar consideration, and just I've seen some cats play some like really, really thick stuff. They just oh, this is what the chord is, and then they just give every note that could be representing a chord, and then add something else for color
on the organ.
On the organ.
Wow, cool.
It's disgusting. It's kind of disgusting to think about, but I think the main difference is that the pianist has the ability to like switch up voicings, and it'll sort of be glued together by the sustain pedal. Organist has to find a creative way to represent all these voicings with good voice leading so that they're not jumping all over the place. They kind of have like the job of being the church's string section and becoming the orchestra, melding these things together, representing harmonies. So then
Yeah. Yep. That's cool.
That's my philosophy on it.
I dig it, man.
But that's just something cool to think about when you listen to these songs. Okay, I have to not only figure out what chords I'm playing in relationship with the bass, but can I voice it brilliantly just with that melody being represented, even though the record doesn't even do that. I have to do that so that the intro is recognizable for the folks I'm playing it for. But everything is centered around that melody and my voicings, if I want it to be represented.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. So you're just describing how you would voice this melody, and that it's important to really voice the melody, which is the term I tend to use for keeping that top note as the melody, right?
Yes.
Something like this. Oh, 6. You do something like this, right? And then
Yes.
oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's where that chord comes. Sorry. Right. So okay, so just like some jazzy variations on this, and
Yes.
or like voicing variations. I really like doing this, but skipping this one, so it opens up the resonance of it. Oh wait, where am I? Right. Okay, and the same this is exact same voicing you would do, right? Except just skipping that guy.
Right.
You know, you can also like obviously put in the 11. You could put in the 9. Make this like one of these guys. Kind of. You could do one of these guys over that. You could do one of these guys. Right. So I like this this kind of shape in my left hand of like a long interval and then a short interval. So it could be either the 5 and the flat 6 or the flat 6 and the 7. And then you got something up here that could actually mirror that, right? Short interval, long interval.
Okay.
Or like that, right? If you want to double it up, you could do like this kind of thing, or this. Whatever you want your melody to be, right?
Wow.
Right? But it's all over one of these guys. So that's like, you know, another way to think about this. And
I'm gonna replicate that.
Personally, when I'm playing these voicings, I would say the vast majority of the time I'm playing the root in the left hand, like we've been doing this whole time. Right? There are times when it's nice to do it without the root, right? Like if you know the bass is going to be there, or if you want to drop something that's like you don't know what it is, and then you drop the root down. Like if you're doing one of these for like a piano intro or something, all right, and you throw, you know, something like that, and then like, woo, it's like, what? Oh my god, that's what you're doing, because you had no idea, right? It could be anything. It could be this, right? Or you know, or it could be this. Right? But if, and then, woo, etc. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That was fun riffing. We've been that's an hour and 10.
No. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna share mine.
Yes.
And if there's something we want to grab a tiny piece of, we can, or we could come back to it, or we could just let it be what it is. Okay. And just enjoy listening to it. This is Tigran Hamasyan, and this has been out for a while online. 2017 this was put up online, and it's a really cool video, so I'm going to go ahead and like share the screen to watch some of the video too. It's 7 minutes. We won't listen to the whole thing, and maybe I'll skip around a little bit or something. But
gotcha.
It's this for me, like this hope, you know, you're talking about that like spiritual uplift kind of hope, right?
Yeah.
Which I also totally resonate with. Kirk Franklin's Smile. Like that's a cheesy ass tune, but
Right.
man, that just fills me with a feeling of hope. The Kim Burrell, I mean, gospel music, man, there's so much of it that brings that kind of feeling of hope. When I was digging into like, okay, my jazz brain and trying to find songs that brought hope, it was a little bit tricky for me, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, I um like I don't know if this is hope or this is joy or
Mhm.
this is like kind of that more um almost mysterious hope. And I think that's kind of, if you want to be a little bit actually still spiritual about it, there's a hope that comes with the digging into the mystery of things and the complexity of things,
Mm.
like an embracing of dissonance, but a beauty in it,
Yes. Yes.
and not like a dissonance that just hits you as like, oh god, like it's so much
Shock
tension,
value.
or yeah, or just like, a dissonance. Sometimes dissonance resonates with a feeling of like rebellion and or freedom and or
Mhm.
struggle, for me, which can be really cool. The Andrew Hill and Ornette Coleman and Albert
Yeah.
Eiler, and but for me, that doesn't leave me feeling hopeful so much as it kind of brings a different, that a whole other range of feelings. the, but there is a use of dissonance that really brings me into that feeling, and then if there's beauty in it,
Mhm.
it makes me feel like this kind of very deep kind of longing hope. It's like that longing for beauty that it really gets at that. So okay, this tune is totally that for me. I also thought about, just to go down the list, like I thought about having a track of McCoy Tyner playing Search for Peace,
Ooh.
which is a beautiful song and also has some of that, like, dissonance, searching, kind of longing feeling. And I also thought about Horace Silver's Peace, which is
Mm.
a, such a beautiful uh, tune, and has this like beautiful turn into the major key and then back, uh, or like a, where they, they actually start on the same progression, right? There's Search for Peace, which goes, and Peace goes, and then right here, this is the turn to major that I was talking about. Woo, man, that's such a beautiful moment for me when it goes from, it's like G minor 7, C7,
Then the
and then
B.
to B major.
Yeah.
What a, again, it's like this unexpectedness. It's a mystery. It's a journey that like surprises you, but it gives you that feeling of like, oh, there is hope here. And then and he does this thing. I love that thing. Okay, anyway, um I thought about like a Chick Corea Love Castle. I
I
love
don't
that
know that.
tune. Love Castle. The original, I think it's on My Spanish Heart. It's almost a little goofy. It's fun, but it's all these 70s synths and stuff. And it's very fast. The version that really fills me with a feeling of hope is his duet with Gary Burton from their album Native Sense, which is a lesser known duo record that they did. It's fantastic though, and they do a version of Love Castle, which just, I listen to that so many times too, and it's just like, so it's such beauty, and like kind of, you feel like you're in a castle in the sky kind of vibe. Um, and then I also thought about Keith Jarrett, Facing You.
Mm.
Um, that solo piano record, man. I think it's the first track, uh, and I didn't have a version that I could play today. Otherwise, I actually might have just played that. Um, but maybe we can look at it another time. So, all
So
right,
Keith Jarrett's solo record, Facing You.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
classic, way back.
Okay.
Um, and the last one that I thought about bringing forward today was a Lila Bialy record, and there are several tracks off of some of Lila's recording. Man, she's just like a beacon of light, man, and beauty and positivity through her music. And so, I mean, I could have chosen any number of tunes off of her records. Uh, Lila Bialy is a really great artist. Not enough people know, but
Yeah.
yeah, she's a great one to check out. All right, so let's just check out this Tigran Hamasyan.
We need like a whole playlist of
Yeah,
whole.
dude.
We should just
Hey, let's do that. We should do that in the when we put this on YouTube. We'll do it in the description.
I love it. Okay.
Okay. Oops. All right, and it goes on. So, you can check out the last 2-3 minutes of it there if you want.
My goodness.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's yeah, there's something really profoundly just or profound about that, man, for me, and that like it's everything I was describing, the consonance and the dissonance and the yearning. It's just I feel that, so deeply. And for
Right.
me, like, I have a faith, a spiritual faith. It's deep and abiding, but it is uh, it's always a struggle for me um, to integrate that faith into my worldview. Because
Yeah.
the world itself, the things going on in the world, there's just like there's so much disharmony, so much suffering and struggle um, and really, darkness. And I'm not a Christian, and even if I were, I would definitely not subscribe to the belief of like there's a battle between kind of God and Satan kind of
Mhm.
vibe. Like it's just not something I can vibe with. At the same time, that's just like if you abstract it out, the like forces of good and evil,
Yeah.
like that, take names off of it, and like it's there's a reality there, right? There are wars, and there are abstract wars going on, as
There is
well
a
as
conflict. Yeah.
yeah. And like in my heart there's just like this yearning all the time, man, this yearning that kind of underlies my whole existence. I've
Yeah.
been, I'm 43 and a half years old right now, and as a long time to be on earth, like yearning for
Yeah.
for more a more peaceful and benevolent world, um, and so, the that exploration, I feel like the exploration that you can do in music of consonance and dissonance,
Yeah.
um, is like is such a I don't know, there's something about it that like touches that yearning for me, like very deeply, very personally, um,
Mm-mm. I
yeah.
hear that conflict even in this song.
Mm.
Like even in this piece, I'm just like this feeling I'm getting in my chest, just like
Mm.
what is going on? Why why does this bring me to tears? There are no lyrics. And this isn't pop. Like this is not pop. And this cat is going for it. It starts very pleasant and open, but then it starts veering to these different like places. And my brain, musician or non-musician, doesn't quite understand what these sounds mean. I just know that they make me feel something. And they make me feel that conflict. But it's a tension, like you said. I don't want to leave this place because there's something. I trust that it's taking me, like I like where I am now, and it's taking me to where it's taking me. I don't even know, but I trust where it's taking me, And that was kind of cool. The visual element, like, thank you for sharing the screen, because that also took me on the same journey. Like that was some powerful stuff. I don't know if I told you this,
I
but
just want to jump in and just acknowledge what you just said, about the music and the correlation to spiritual seeking and path, that feeling of like you don't fully understand it, and oh yay, I'll be okay. I'll be done in a minute. Awesome. I'll be out in a few minutes. Oh, good. All right. Very excited about the box that came.
Oh, let's go.
This was a Christmas gift to get like
Amazon Prime?
Like snacks from around the world.
Ooh.
Like once a month for a few months. He's been waiting for this second box to come for a long time. Ever since Christmas, basically. All right. Anyway, man, there's something really profound about sitting in that space, right? Where you don't really understand. But you trust, you feel like you can trust, that, there will be a journey here that will unfold.
Yes.
And take you to a place that, may have both consonance and dissonance, but on some level, you're safe in that journey.
Absolutely.
And there's like a lot to appreciate about it. There's a lot of beauty and complexity. And I feel like, that's life, man. And that's for me, that's like the best correlation, the best expression of a spiritual path that I'm trying to live, the surrender to some type of faith, that feels like, there is a journey unfolding here.
Do you, what's Tigran's take on this? Have you read interviews? Does he talk about his process at all?
I have no idea.
Okay. And maybe that's good. You don't want to come at it from that place. What was he thinking? Was it a spring in Brooklyn? And he was just looking at a local park and saw the birds chirping and flying. No, like maybe that's not how you want to engage it. I totally understand.
I don't know.
For me, I don't know if I told you this, but I also want to be a like film composer.
Oh yeah.
And
beautiful.
I found that like for years, everybody who would like listen to my music, be it if I'm like trying to create jazz or if I'm doing some gospel thing, arranging strings or something, or even at one point I was making beats. And let me tell you, I was like a teenager, I believe, or like very early 20s. And I was sitting in the studio and everyone's playing their tracks and we're all just like going for it. I'm like, all right, let me play mine. We play mine and no one's like nodding their head. No one's like really getting with it, at least from a visual standpoint.
They're like, where's the
right?
That, man? Where's that?
None of that. And at the end of the track, they're like, man, that was very like dramatic, bro. That was like cinematic. And I thought it was a cop out. Like they didn't like it. They just thought it was whack, but that was the best thing they could say. But really, I think all signs point toward, dude, you like film music. Just like embrace that. So when I listen to Tigran, I feel that. it's like I don't need the visuals. I feel like I'm in a story.
Mhm.
Now, what the story is saying, I don't know. I don't know who the protagonist is. I don't know what the plot is.
Mm.
But I am enjoying this story that is, as you say, unfolding before me. So there's this other track off of Tigran's new album called Dream Voyager.
Okay.
Oh
Y-
man,
Yeah.
that one is the same thing for me. But this is deep.
I don't know those tracks well enough to know the titles of them.
Yeah.
I've listened to most of that new record. It's
Um.
it's nuts, man.
That's kind of like the theme.
Oh,
And
cool.
it kind of has like this dope backbeat, but then things start to switch up. It's the stank face again.
Yeah.
But how do you want to tackle this? This is like overwhelming.
I don't think we should, honestly.
Okay.
I think let's just leave it.
Okay.
Because yeah, where do we even start? You know.
Now, apart from this, are you taking it upon yourself to, like, is that a personal goal of yours to kind of transcribe a little bit of this?
I wish I could say yes,
Okay.
but it has not been.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to. I should. I should. Right now, I'm trying to learn a Debussy piece and also just compose the stuff that's in my heart, which
Yes.
tends to be a little bit less or significantly less complicated.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know PJ Morton?
PJ Morton?
Mhm.
God, who's PJ Morton?
This R&B artist,
Yeah, okay.
son of like a pastor.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
he makes some of the most like simple music ever. But like his music allowed me to fall in love with music again because I was chasing complexity. I was chasing like every time I listen to music, it has to be like in the form of study. I got to get better. And so I think there's a place for just simple music that just allows both musicians and non-musicians to like breathe and just take in the sounds without pretension. So we'll keep making that music.
Yeah, man. Well, man, this was awesome. This was super fun.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
let's do it again. We'll come up with another next topic. We were talking about things you're checking out
Yeah.
topic, right? So I think that maybe that would be a fun one next. And then I might bring like my friend Javi Santiago,
Okay.
his record from a couple of years ago called Phoenix. Maybe I'll bring some of that to
Ooh,
the table.
okay.
Because that's bad, man. I love that record.
Let's go. Javi Santiago,
Yeah.
Phoenix. Okay. Who's the name of the other person, the last person you had mentioned? Lila
Lila Bialy.
Bialy. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a lot of I's and A's. Liala.
Okay.
Laila. Lila. And then Biala. Bialy.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Biali.
One of a derivative of that. Man, I'm excited. You gave me a whole playlist in itself of stuff to listen to. So
yeah, okay, and let's get an email or something where we get our playlist
okay,
of Hope, and then
yes,
when we post this to YouTube, we'll put it on there,
dope,
in the description, and then we can share this with everybody, and anybody who's enjoying it, that's cool, and comments. Tell us what you'd like to see us do next, right?
Yes.
And and then also, maybe we can invite somebody else into the conversation, here and there.
Man,
that could
do
be
like a 3-way situation.
Yeah,
that'd be deep. Yeah. I'm down.
Nice.
I mean, you're all I need, Peter, but I can be polyamorous when necessary.
Nice.
Make that the intro, please.
What's a piano 3-way?
I don't know. What do you?
Poly Ivory. Ooh. Or not. Sorry. I'm such a dad. You're a dad too, man.
Yes, man, I live for that stuff. Plenty of dad jokes in my. Yo, can I read one tongue twister to you?
Yeah,
Right.
please. That's great. We should. This will be a ritual. We can end with a
Oh
tongue twister.
man. All right. So first of all, I don't know if you can see this. It just keeps.
It's a little.
Oh.
There's
Oh.
a lot of glare on there,
Oh, gotcha.
but I can see there's like a list of things or a lot of them.
That's probably good because they're so good. I don't want.
You
all
got to
my
get a
twisters.
publisher.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Organically, Morgana King.
What?
You said what?
Morgana King, like
Yeah. Do you know
Morgana
Morgana King?
is
Like Morgana and then King, like Martin Luther King.
like that movie, that silly Nicolas Cage movie with Morgana. My kids watch that.
Oh, I don't know this
It's
movie,
like Morgana is like some, I don't remember.
but that's the name, Morgana King. So organically,
Is there
Morgana King.
Is there a person named Morgana King?
Mm-hmm. A vocalist.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Organically, Morgana King. Organically, whoa. Uh-oh. Organically, Morgana King. Organically, Morgana King. Organically, Morgana King. Ooh, darn.
It's quirky. It's like all over the place.
Say them 10 times fast kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Organically. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna try it.
It's yours.
It's fine.
We both got to
My job
try,
is to
man.
write them, not interpret them. I'm the composer.
All right. On that note, it's great to see you, man.
Yeah.
I hope your family is doing well. We'll hit again in a week or two, right?
Yes, sir. Let me know.
Great.
I'm down.
Okay.
All right. Much love.
Yeah. Love to you, man.
All right. Bye-bye.